This is the joint I've been telling y'all about. Unforgiven. What I felt, what I know, never shine to what I show. Never be, never see, won't see what might have been. What I felt, what I know, never shine through what I show.
What's up, everybody?
Never be, so I don't need I'm from the backwoods, country strong, right out on the road. Papa was a roller so I make it on my own. Gun tucking, kids are smoking outlaw. Push tucking, penny every 7 bells, had it in a hard focus.
Yeah, we're doing good, doing good.
So shit, see better days, but I wake up every morning, strap them up and get paid. Take my time like a man, 10 toes.
What's up, Big Zach?
I made it out alive, bitch. Now I understand that loyalty is earned and it's never ever given. And as long as I'm alive, I'll stay unforgiven. What I felt,
What's happening, everybody? What's happening?
Never see, won't see what I have been. What I felt, what I know, never shine through. I was born to lose, couldn't choose, old roads, new foods.
Okay, Ryan, hit me up, brother. Y'all ready for another breakdown with Big Lance? Thank you, Demon Slayer. Thank you, Miss Jones. Because today people tell. All right, man. Let's get into it. Let's get into it, man. We ain't got time to waste. Tonight, we are going to break down a history of punishment. Okay, so we all know what prison is. We know what that bullshit is, right? So it's always lagging, man. I fucking hate this shit. We might have to figure something out, man. Thank you, Stacy. So first of all, much love to the BLC. We're gonna start with that. I appreciate everybody, and you know, it's good to be free. It's good to breathe this free air. We're gonna knock this out, man. This is a breakdown of punishment throughout history. And there's a lot of things that I read on here that I never heard of. So we're going to get right into it. The first one that popped up was banishment. And we all know what that is. Since ancient times, forcing an offender to leave his home and go abroad or to another region, either permanently or for a fixed period of time. So basically what this means, you know, people did something stupid, fucked up, and the community as a whole would banish them. They tell them to leave. You know, imagine if that was like that now. You know, like, hey, man, you stole something from Wawa's, so you're banished. That's what they should do to the fucking child molesters. They should fucking banish them. They should have an island for nothing but chomos, rapists, and all sorts of pedophilia, people who like to fiddle, people who like to do things that thank you, Stacy. That's awesome. So I think that those sick individuals that like to do the sick things ought to be dealt with accordingly. Let's move on, man. There's something called Bastinado. Bastinado. And I've never heard of this either. And Bastinado was beating a person on the soles of their feet with a stick. That shit. Whoo. Bastinado was commonly used in parts of Asia. So Asians are out there beating people's feet. Can you imagine doing something and then being tied to, like, I guess I imagine they probably tied him down somewhere and took and like laid him out and then beat their feet with a stick. You ever like stepped on a Lego barefoot, step on one of your kids' toys barefoot in the middle of the night? That shit was crazy. It's crazy. I can't imagine that. I wonder how many times. I might dive deeper into it and see how many times they used to beat people in their feet. Up next there was beheading. And this, we all know what beheading is. We all know that people get their head chopped off. That was big in England. England was real big for beheading. England's got a lot of crucial. Actually, England is fucking savage. They got another thing in here y'all see that's actually the next from the next one. So the second to the next one. Check this out. So I'm sure it was mainly for heinous stuff, but back then, what's heinous today, what isn't heinous today was heinous then. Stealing was heinous. You could get killed for stealing back then because people didn't have anything. So it shit's crazy, man, to think about people lined up to get their heads cut off. That's some William Wallace shit. Freedom! William Wallace went hard as a bitch. He was a fucking gangster, man. They were ripping his intestines out with a wheel, and he would not bow down to that fucking king. He loved that girl, boy. Women are the source of a lot of fucking wars in this lifetime. This world. Fucking Helen of Troy. Fuck, man. They went to war with her. That's crazy. That is crazy. So, yeah, dude, you shouldn't be getting your head cut off or taking a fucking pear, some shit. The next was birching, and birching meant beating a person across the backside with a bundle of twigs. Once a common punishment in schools, it could be also imposed by the courts for minor offenses. Birching, however, birching as a punishment for minor crimes was abolished in Britain in 1948. So it was still being used in the civilized world, man. And salute to G Dirt. Are you going live after this, G Dirt? So people were living in 1948. It was a generally civilized time. People had houses, people had electricity, people had phones. People were driving in cars. But if you did something fucking stupid, they would take up a bundle of sticks and they whip your ass with it. Those were the good old days. Maybe I'll start birching my sons whenever they do something stupid. Go give me some twigs. You're going to get birched. So the next one is what I was talking about. Fucking England being savage once again. And at the end, we're going to see who's the most savage. Boiling alive, y'all. So in England, this really intrigued me because I really had never heard of this. In England, a law of alive and they're being fucking boiled. In 1532, a cook called Richard Roos was boiled alive And in 1542, a woman named Margaret Davy was born alive. Still there. Get up on the bed. However, the law was repealed in 1547, so it didn't last long. Okay, it wasn't a very long-lasting way of punishment. So, what's up, Jimbo Slice? So after that, we got branding. That's obviously where they would brand you with a red hot iron, and it's a very old punishment. And it was in Britain, and it was abolished in 1829. So you could do something. Maybe you stole. Maybe you would steal somebody's horse or something like that nature. And maybe that people had their own brands back then. That's where the old branding comes from. Cowboys and shit. Well, imagine that the brand would be able to brand you with his brand on. That'd be fucked up. You had to watch yourself in the old times, guys. It wasn't like nowadays where you get a slap on the wrist, you do 30 days in jail, and you go home. We cry about our punishment now, but in all actuality, it's a lot easier than it used to be. Breaking on the wheel. This is something interesting. This was a punishment especially common in France and Germany, although it was also used in other parts of Europe. The condemned man was tied to a wheel, and the executioner then used an iron bar or hammer to break each arm and leg in several places. Sometimes a blow to the chest or strangulation was used to end the man's agony, but he could be left to die of thirst. Breaking on the wheel was abolished in Germany in 1827. Now, we talked about being boiled alive, talking about getting your feet beat with a stick, but that shit is fucked up. Breaking on the wheel. Germany right now has my vote for the most savage punishment because they're on a thing, they're on a turn thing, and they're just getting their shit broke. That's fucking crazy. But the Vikings had the blood eagle. Y'all know what the blood eagle is, right? Fisher Cali boys in here, man. Check their channel out. They're dope. Fuck with them. Good people, man. They're good people. Blood eagle is what the Vikings used to do. And what they would do is they would hang someone like this with their wrists, and they would hang on like this device. And they would come behind them with a fucking hatchet behind the back and hit them down the spine and open them up from the spine. And they would rip open by the ribs, and they would reach in and pull your lungs out through your back, and they would flap them over your back like wings, and they look like wings, and they call it a blood eagle. That's pretty fucking savage. Seth Dutton Gaming, man. Much love, brother. Homie, don't play that. So the Vikings are up there, the children, with taking cactus needles and forcing them into their skin. Yeah, and our kids today, this is how soft our world has gotten, our society has gotten. Not saying that I think that's right. You shouldn't stick cactus needles in your kids. But I feel like the old saying, spare the rod, spoil the child. I think sometimes when kids need their ass whooped. I'm just saying. That's just my opinion. Oh, Jimmy. Shit. I don't remember. We can look it up before we go, though, if you want. How you been, Jimmy? Ain't heard from you in a while, buddy. So anyway, we got caning, which we all know what caning is. The crank. The crank was a handle that convicts had to turn again and again. Normally, the prisoner had to turn the handle thousands of times before he could eat. This was hard and very monotonous work. The crank was abolished in British prisons in 1898. So that's fucked up. Yeah, you definitely You definitely you're gonna build an appetite cranking that thing all day long, man. They got drowning in here. Let's see. They got something called a ducking stool. So the ducking stool was a seat on a long wooden arm. Women who were convicted of being scolds or gossips were tied to the seat, then ducked into the local pond or river. The last woman to be ducked in England suffered the punishment in 1809. In 1817, another woman was sentenced to be ducked, but unfortunately, the water level was too low to immerse her. So, how many women do you know that if they lived back in that time would probably suffer the wrath of the ducking stool? What's up, Rob? That's funny as shit. I mean, to me, that's funny. Watch your fucking gossip. Don't be so intrusive. That's the lesson there. The dunce cap. Okay, so here we go. The electric chair. Let's get into modern times, things that we are accustomed to. A lot of us were around and are around when these things were relevant. So in the late 19th century, it occurred to people that electricity could be used to kill. It was first used in the United States in 1890 when a man named William Kemmler was executed. So this is the first guy. William Kemmler is the first guy to ever be executed. Unfortunately, his death was not quick. Nevertheless, the electric chair became a popular method of execution in the United States. The first woman to be executed in the electric chair was Martha Pace in 1899. So this is a pretty cool little piece of history, guys, because you had the first guy in 1890, this Kemmler guy. Kemmler, I don't know what he did. Maybe we can look it up and figure it out, but he was the first person to ever be electrocuted. No worries. Good to see you. So that's fucking crazy. I didn't know any of that shit. Underneath that is fines. We know what that shit is, paying money for no reason. So we have the firing squad. Here we go. The firing squad became popular once guns were accurate enough. So you guys know, like during the Civil War times and those wars, the Revolutionary War, although we had artillery, that we had guns, they were not accurate. They were basically just shooting in the crowds, and the way they fought wars was goddamn ridiculous. I mean, what moron came up with the fucking idea of let's just stand in a straight line and shoot at each other for target practice? That was the dumbest fucking, that was dumb as shit. Whoever came up with that. I would be like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm going to hide somewhere else, and I'm going to get my vantage point. You're fucking tripping. I'm not standing next to fucking Tyler and John Boy over here and letting these guys shoot at me. I'm not doing that. Nah, man, it's my allergies. I keep telling y'all that I always have these allergies. Garroting. Does anybody know what garroting is? So garroting was a form of strangulation. Okay? Often it was carried out using a metal collar attached to a post, which was tightened around the person's neck. Garroting was used in Spain. So the Spaniards, they made the list, and the Spaniards had a dog collar, basically, ladies and gentlemen. They had this metal contraption that would just tighten, and they would just strangle you. That is brutal. I don't know if it's very savage, but it's pretty fucked up. You know what I mean? It's fucked up. After garroting came the gas chamber, which most of us are familiar with and probably might even have it in your state. The gas chamber was first used in the United States of America in 1942. The condemned person is strapped to a chair, sealed in a room, which is then filled with cyanide gas. After their death, powerful fans removed the gas. So this is probably a more humane-ish way to go. I've never actually watched anyone die in the gas chamber, so I can't tell you if it was brutal or not. I'm sure actually it probably was brutal because it probably basically suffocated you. You're breathing in poisonous gas. It's probably not fun to die that way. I don't know what you guys might think. Oh, dude, the Stacy, the mental hospital shit. There's a whole that shit. That was a whole different trip, man. Like these people were doing lobotomies and cutting the tops of their heads off and shit. Nuts, bro. Nuts. Yeah, teardrop torture. Savage. Well, they had, if you ever read the Asatru Edda, there's a an old folklore tale in the Norse mythology of when they hung Loki. Um, and he had, I think it was snake venom dripped on his forehead over and over and over and over. But what happened was his wife actually came with a bowl and for day and night held that bowl over him so it wouldn't keep dripping on him. Pretty fucking crazy. But the Viking series actually did that to Floki. A lot of shit in Vikings comes from the Havamal and the Asatru Edda, which is the Odinist handbook, basically. I've read it. It's pretty trippy, man. Like they talk about a lot of crazy shit in the Asatru Edda. So after that is Grampusing. In the days of sailing ships, a punishment for minor offenses was to tie a sailor's hands above his head and pour buckets of water down his sleeves. By Napoleonic times, this was known as Grampusing because the man made a noise like Grampus, a sea mammal. So I'm trying to understand this. Like, so they had their hands up here tied, and they were just pouring water down his sleeves. I really don't know how savage that really is. I think I could handle that, to be honest. Thomas McMaster. Um, I'm seeing your comment here. And I want to say, first of all, brother, I've been there and that, you know, trying to stop and actually stopping is two different things. It's two different worlds. And I don't know what your choice is, what you use. My drug of choice was opiates. And I got on Suboxone. But I'll be honest with you, I'm slowly weaning down. I'm at such a low dose right now that I don't even really feel it a lot. And I walk around feeling miserable. I'm miserable right now, actually. I'm probably going to sleep very good. But this is the process. And you have to understand that coming off of any drug that you're addicted to is going to be a process. There's no easy route. There's no magic cure. And there's no, okay, then you're right with me. I completely understand where you're at. And it can be the most miserable feeling in the world. It can be the most hopeless feeling in the world. But the fact that you are just announcing it and the fact that you recognize it, then you're already ahead of the game, bro. And you're already at a point where I feel like maybe in your heart you're ready. It's just you have to get your brain to be on board, and that's the struggle, okay? It's always going to be that way, okay? What's up?
We heard a gunshot.
Okay.
Me and Max heard.
It's probably a car backfiring, bud.
A car backfire?
Yeah, I'm sure there's no gunshots out front.
Sound like a gunshot. It sounded like
Okay, well, stay away from the windows then, okay? And sit on the other side of the bed. Babe, did you hear it? Where'd they hear it? Front or back? Do they look like they're serious? I didn't hear nothing. apparently there's gunshots. Yo, no, but I also was talking. Somebody on here said gunshots. Were you in Syria? Jameson and Pepsi can't beat it. All right. Okay, so anyway, there's so many more, and we just don't have time to do it. But at the end of the day, guys, punishment is punishment. And sorry, I was reading something about the spirits, man. Don't even talk about that, because that shit freaks me out to this day. No, I haven't. I haven't heard the Iron Bull. But our people, our society, as our race has changed and developed in so many ways. And the reason I'm in Virginia, the reason why I wanted to do this tonight is because of everything that's going on. Yeah, they got a lot of guns in Richmond. With this coronavirus and with the way society is today, our society, the United States of America, let's just use the United States as an example. The social media keeps us on like a volatile keel. Have you ever noticed that? Right when everybody starts to kind of get along, they will sensationalize something to make us all go back against each other. Because as long as we're going against each other, we're not going against them. It's population control, in my opinion. I don't care how another man or woman chooses to live their life until it affects me and mine. Now, because the way our society works, it's free. We enjoy our freedoms. And that's why I'm not feeling this martial law bullshit. I'm not feeling somebody telling me, because I'm not quarantining. I'm not doing that. I've told you this. We are living our lives like it's a normal everyday life. We're being careful. But, I think that Americans, we tend to look as in our glass as it always half empty, because we desire so much more. You need to remember that your soul grows through loss. Your spirit and your integrity and your power grows through sustaining life with the bare minimum sometimes. And if you're quarantined and you're sitting there and you're doing this, then you're not using this time wisely. In prison, we used to get locked up in the hole, and people like myself, it didn't bother me because it gave me a chance to reflect. I could reflect on things. I could take a time out, and I could just kind of get a broad visualization of all the things I was doing. What could I change? Because when you're in the rat race and you're 100 miles an hour all the time, trying to work, trying to go to school, or trying to raise kids, or trying to pay bills, or trying to keep this, or trying to blah, 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 blah. When do you have those moments to yourself to really reflect? That's what this is about. That's what our program is about. Purpose, drive, and discipline. That coincides. The repetition, it coincides, man. Repetitiously take that time out of your day. Think about the one thing that you do during your days that you could really do without, but it's become a habit. Now take that thing away and replace it with just a few minutes of reflection time. It doesn't have to be long. We're not Buddhists. We don't need to fucking meditate for hours out of the day. What I'm saying is 10, 15 minutes of your day. And really think about every single step you took that day. Every step. And with each step that you reflect on, count the steps that were meaningful, Count the steps that had purpose, count the steps that had drive, and count the steps that were going to put you in a better place ultimately. Now count the steps that were just meaningless, that really were just, you were just aimlessly walking around, not really with any purpose at all. And it's sort of like hours. You can just kind of collect them, collect those steps, collect those minutes, collect those moments out of the day, even if it's seconds, and use those to not be meaningless, but to be meaningful, and reflect on who you fucking are, reflect on where the fuck you're going in life. So tomorrow you can wake up with a different mindset. Tomorrow you can wake up saying, you know what? I thought about that yesterday, and today I'm not going to do this because there really is no point in me doing that. So, I'm checking out some of these comments, and I see people, that are on here, and I've watched them grow, and I've watched them go from one mental level to another in a matter of 5 months that I've been doing YouTube. I've been doing YouTube very short time. But I've gotten to know some people, and I've paid attention, and I've watched their growth. I've watched their ups and downs. And I wanted to tell you that my instant gratification nowadays is that feeling of that superiority. And when I talk about that, a lot of people are like, man, you think you're superior to everybody else? And I don't mean it by that. I mean it by some of us in life, some of you are at a superior intellect, at a superior enlightenment. See, when you start to enlighten yourself and you stop trying so hard to grasp at whatever leavings you can fucking get, and you start creating your own inspiration, and you start growing your own inspiration. We all have the seeds. They're planted. They're in our day-to-day lives, man. They're ingrained in our fucking DNA. Inspire your motherfucking self. Inspire yourself to do better. Inspire yourself to push that much harder. Stop giving in. Stop saying to yourself, oh, fuck it, man. I'm just going to just deal with it. I don't care. Just sit back. Whatever. Stop doing that. Relax, man. Don't give up on yourself so fucking quick. I see it every day. And I see these people who are they walk around like they're zombies. I see them in Wawa. We go to Wawa's every day for breakfast. Every single day we go to Wawa. And I watch the same people come in, and they got that same just dumb, dead look on their face. Didn't get enough sleep. Have them think of wash their face at the house. You've seen them. They got the fucking dirty fucking work clothes on from yesterday. The fucking hair's all sitting up like it is. Looking to get some coffee. Inspire yourself. Find inspiration where you can, but when you do, listen to whoever's inspiring you and take what you can just get, not crumbs. You don't deserve crumbs. You don't deserve that anymore. You never did. So get out of that mentality, man. You deserve to be superior. You deserve to be enlightened. Enlighten that shit, man. Much love to the BLC. I hope you guys are being safe. I hope you're content. I hope you're enjoying your time with your family. Don't look at this. And I'll keep telling Brandy this, man. Don't let this shit stress you out, man. Don't let this shit stress you out. Man up motivation, man. That's what this shit is. Man the fuck up. It's fine. This shit happens. It's part of being a human being. It's part of living on planet fucking Earth. Shit happens. We get viruses. We get diseases. Man, we still ain't got a cure for cancer. You know what I'm saying? It kills more people than this shit ever will. So we got problems. And the men out there, remember to be men, man. Remember what a man is supposed to be. For you youngsters out there, if you're seeing this, uh, know what a man's supposed to be like, bro. Okay? Let go of those feminine qualities, man, that seem to be so popular today. Men ain't supposed to rock like that. This shit is a fad, I promise you. And as women get older, they start to look at those kind of sissy boys a little bit less, bro. That shit's all fun and games when you're young and you want to look like a little pretty boy. But let me tell you something. What a woman wants is a hard-working, loyal, honorable man that'll come home to her every night, wake up in the morning, go out there, work for a good, honest dollar, whatever color your collar is, white collar, blue collar, I don't care. Go out there and earn that money like a real man. Stop being so fucking lazy, man. You youngsters are killing me with that laziness. It drives me fucking crazy, man. You guys are stuck doing this all the time. Get off this. Start living with this, man. Start living with your heart. Start, because you're a man inside, bro. But you guys are falling off the wagon. I don't like it. Go watch some old movies, man. Go watch some old westerns. Go watch some Bruce Willis movies. Do something, because it's getting worse and worse through the generations, man. And what this right here is man up motivation, man. We're on top of things. We live with purpose, drive, and discipline. Go out there and cut the grass for your mom and dad or your wife. Don't let your wife go out there and fucking do that shit. You know, I see so many guys that are just chivalry is dying. Chivalry is dying, man. So anyway, man, I appreciate you rocking with the breakdown. Big Lance, the blue collar badass. I will see you guys in the morning, and I hope you guys enjoying the music, man. That's just gonna start posting. I'm gonna start putting some of these songs that that I think you guys will like. I hope y'all like one that I put up tonight, man. I got a lot of good responses on that. A couple haters, but that's what it is, and not everybody's gonna like it. Much love to Metallica, because I used their chorus for this one, man. It sounded sweet. But I love each and every one of y'all. Stay safe, stay healthy. And if you do get the coronavirus, a couple people have called me that I know that have it. They said, really, it's just like kind of a flu on steroids. So make sure that you're prepared. Get you some NyQuil, take a hot fucking shower, and kick back. Watch some old movies, all right? Love you guys. Thank you for tuning in to the breakdown, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow morning.